Hello, I'm Michael Rickard. Today we're going to talk about emergency management, specifically within the theory and concept of operations within emergency management. I'm going to talk about fluidity. Fluidity is it's an integral part, and to me, it's the most important part. With fluidity, I'm talking about the fluid movement or transfer of information from the top down, from the highest, whether it be a CEO or a general, all the way to the lowest totem pole on the ground. Within emergency management, you will notice that a number of the concepts that are involved correlate with those that are involved within the military itself. So when I talk about these concepts, I'm using my own personal experience within the United States Marine Corps, and I know it may upset Dr. Bergeron because he was in the Army, but I'm going to talk about my experiences within the Marine Corps. Semper Fi, first to fight, do or die. Okay? So within this, you have a number of structures: your administrative, your logistics, your support, your tactical elements. So all those elements have to have a fluid transfer of information. Okay? So the fluid transfer of information starts from the top. Your head honcho in charge, whether it be your emergency management coordinator, your general, your CEO, whoever is in charge of that situation has to get all that information down. The easiest way to do so is we have things such as meetings. Now today with COVID, a number of meetings that I've been a part of have been by Skype, Zoom, such things as that. But you transfer that information down through the chain of command, being from the highest to the lowest. And that way the lowest guy knows exactly what his obligations and what he is supposed to do. If I have a bridge that is blocked by rubble due to an earthquake, okay, I'm the guy in charge. I need to get the information all the way down to the guy who's driving the bulldozer that's going to move out that rubble to open up that bridge. That way my emergency management resources such as food, water, shelter can get through and access those victims. Okay? So if I don't have a fluid transfer of information down to the guy on the bulldozer, he's basically just sitting there. And trust me, when it comes to the military or emergency management operations, the lowest guy on the totem pole, if you don't tell him what to do, he's going to sit there. More than likely, he's going to take a nap. He's going to make a Snapchat. He's going to make a tweet. He's going to make some TikTok of something silly. And then you're going to have that whole another element of things that you have to deal with. So that fluid transfer of information all the way down lets him know, hey, guess what? At this day, at this time, I need to get on my bulldozer. I need to clear this rubble so these guys can go. And again, that's just fluid transfer of information. Back during Katrina, I was with Kilo Battery, 4th Battalion, 14th Marines, out of Huntsville, Alabama. We had volunteers go and help out with basically the rescue and support efforts within Katrina. There was no fluid transfer of information within this. We had a staff NCO with us at the time. During this time, I was a corporal. We went down, okay, and basically we ran around in 7 tons, which on the civilian side would be considered, I would say, that of an 18-wheeler. We rode around on these 7 tons for days throughout the bottom half of Missouri, the upper half of Mississippi, and Louisiana, with no object, no obligations, no objective, nothing in sight. We just rode around. We had nothing to do. We tried to find things to do. People would say, oh, hey, come over here. This high school, it was flooded. There's dead cows in it. Can you do those? We basically did everybody's dirty work for them. After about 2 weeks of this, with no clear and concise information from the top down as far as what we could do, the head staff NCOIC said, we're done with this. We're going back. There's no reason for us to be here. They have no obligations for us. They have no resources for us. There's nothing for us to do. Okay? Again, on the civilian aspect, and I discussed this in some of my discussions, was we had a majority of tornadoes back in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Again, on the first day of those tornadoes, there was no concept of fluidity or the fluid motion of information from the bottom to the top, from the top to the bottom, as far as what we were supposed to do. We just showed up. We were told, hey, jump in a car, go somewhere, help people, save people. We didn't know. Maybe we were, overusing resources because we have 12 officers in one spot when there was only 18 officers available. We didn't know. We were just, running by the hair on the top of our heads, just going here, going there. After that first day, obviously, a fluid concept of operations became developed, where we went to different shifts, things. People were pulled from certain sectors, such as detectives, SWAT, things like that, and they were put on patrol, and we were put in charge of these. And each day we came in, we knew, hey, you're going to this area, which was devastated by the tornado. You're going to this area that was devastated by the tornado, and you're going to set up a checkpoint. Nobody's allowed in this checkpoint unless they have this placard. Each of these placards are mandated day by day. So they would say, hey, you can't come in here unless you have this placard, or you're not going to sit on that entry control point. You're going to actually do your job as a police officer, and you're going to go out because there was still crime occurring. You're going to arrest guys shoplifting, beating their wives, trying to stab somebody, whatever it may be. So with fluid of information, what I'm talking about is that top all the way to that bottom. And that is the most important thing to me when it comes not only to military operations, but the emergency management situation, is if everybody doesn't know what each other is doing, you have basically a log jam there in the middle that results in delayed reactions, loss of life, loss of property, and things like that. So you have to have that fluid transfer of information from the top all the way to the bottom. Okay? And again, my name is Mike Riggert, and thank you for your time.